for the meeting minutes of July 23rd. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Keith?
All right, the financials here are as of July 31st. At July, we had over $11 million in total cash, of which $9,067,000 was in FAD-related funds. We have $751,000 in total commitments, of which $296,000 of that is in the FAD. On our financials, we have couple of accounts receivables that have been sitting for a little while. One of them is for the O&M, and we can promise a check to clear that one next week. No, it is right. Thanks. And with the other one's the Army Corps, and we're still trying to track them down.
Questions? All right, moving on. Approval of charters. Do these separately, I assume. First one up is governance. Anybody have any questions on the governance charter? Not, can I get a motion?
Make the motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next one up is the audit and finance charter. And I apologize for doing this here, but I pulled my comments out from 2012 where it hasn't been addressed in the charter.
Okay,
So I've got some questions for you.
of course.
Let's start off with number
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. I don't recall seeing those. Okay.
I didn't see them either.
Linda, that's warranted. What's up?
Well, this is from 2012.
Yeah,
Not that I'm a pack rat. Keep
I don't have
copies,
to send
but-
it away.
Linda was saying.
So, no, I didn't send it because I did it this morning. I found it this morning.
Okay.
So,
Well, are they extensive or do you want to just read?
no. So we're talking about the audit and finance committee,
Yep.
and number one says appoint, compensate, all audit services. I've got a problem with having the audit and finance committee doing the appointments.
Would it be better to have it be recommended by the audience?
That would be fine.
So. Okay,
You want me to elaborate? Why is it the executive?
good.
committee, or the full board?
No, well, so yes, I think you're right. I think this should be, recommend. In other words, who interviews new auditors should be this committee, but absolutely the selection should be by the board. Correct. So this charter has to go to the board anyway, right? So we can make that change in the draft that's going to the board. Okay.
Yeah,
Recommend to the board of directors rather than now with respect to audit services. I think the intention is that the audit committee can interact with the auditor and provide interim direction and so forth for things that they're doing, right?
sure,
So it's
absolutely.
just the basic engagement that should be approved by the board, right?
Okay, so we'll make that change before the next meeting.
Okay. Number
Good.
2. Establish procedures for the engagement of the independent auditor to provide permitted audit services. Each of Hudson Watershed Corporation independent auditor shall be prohibited from providing non-audit services. To the corporation,
To the corporation,
not to the individual municipalities.
I thought the intention was the corporation.
Okay, so I just think that should be clear.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
All right,
Could add, clarity language,
sure.
We'll just add to the corp.
yeah, to the board.
Jumping down to B, internal auditors, number 2. At the end of number 2, it talks about the internal audit director. Curious who that is. And again, I have the problem with them making an appointment. The recommendation is fine, but so do we know who the?
Yeah, I think so. Why don't we just take that out because we don't have one, right? We're not big enough.
That's supposed to be Keith.
I thought it was a E, but I guess it's a.
No, no, the finance director.
We'll remove that language.
Okay, D. 4. References the inspector general.
Yeah, so I think we should modify this. You have, I mean, you have a treasurer, but the treasurer and the, if we don't have an internal audit function, do we have Keith, do you have an internal control plan
There's not a formal internal control
that
plan.
has been developed with it?
No.
I mean, is there,
Not a formal internal control plan.
hmm Is there an informal one? I mean, are there policies and procedures that are in place to have, to prevent one person from, being the same one who writes the checks as who, but you have the treasurer sign checks, right? You produce checks
We
and
split
so
up
forth, right?
We split up the accounts payable function so that one person,
Right.
scans the system, one person approves them, and then they come to the executive committee to be signed. So
Right.
that's separate, and so we do the same thing with payroll. Payroll's done by, we have more than one person doing the payroll. One person enters, one person approves.
Right. I mean, those kinds of things, it may be that, has the auditor ever recommended that you have a more formal internal control plan?
They've never asked for a written plan, they just ask for what our procedures are.
So probably the internal auditor function isn't applicable here, right? But there's a whole separate section on internal control. So probably that's more relevant, right?
Correct.
I mean, I'm not sure any of B really applies, right? We're not big enough to have that function.
Right, I mean, we basically outsource that function to the external auditor.
Right, so you don't have an internal
The
auditor.
external auditor comes in and checks for, fraud and,
No, right. I know. Right. Bigger organizations have them, but you don't. So I think we should just eliminate it. Right.
You're eliminating D altogether?
Don't you think? Do you think anything of that survives? Because really the point is that the committee should be reviewing internal controls periodically. That is something they should be doing, right?
So my one thought is, what is there an internal mechanism if someone does want to report fraud under D1 that is already in place? Because if there is discrepancy and someone wants to report it, is there that kind of function, or would that just go to the auditor?
The auditor and the board. Well, no, I mean, right, in the first instance, yeah, the board.
Okay, all right, that was just my.
Yeah, no, it's not relevant here. Let's move on.
All right, last section, last comment, financial responsibilities, number
Rich,
1.
other
Yes.
comments? Mm-hmm.
So.
So the recommend.
Well, we're gonna have a fun time with you,
Yeah.
today, Chris. You're breaking up like crazy, so we're not sure what we're getting.
If it's all us, because Warren seems to be okay.
So, number
I'm sorry,
1,
are you on number 2?
no, I'm on number 1 for financial responsibilities.
Okay,
I can-
so
I
number
can hear
1,
her
you, do you,
perfectly
what,
if
you
it
would just,
matters. Christine isn't breaking up at all to me, so
So we're gonna change appointment compensate? All right, yeah.
To recommend,
to recommend, yeah.
or that's not which of the first.
Do you want to delete 2? I don't think we're going to be issuing any debt. Although, you know what, let's leave it because it's one of those, ABO is gonna look for that, and so, you know, we could leave it here, even if you're not gonna ever do it.
All right, that's it for me. Anyone else?
Is that it?
That's
Okay,
it. You wanna
Okay.
approve the changes, or you wanna hold on?
I would recommend, recommending it changes, so when it goes over the board, I will make it consistent with both. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. So we'll table this for the next meeting.
Oh, no, like I would recommend to the board of directors,
Okay.
unless you want.
Okay, so
Sorry.
we're gonna approve
We
it.
have another meeting before the board?
We have another meeting, the September meeting. It's September committee meeting.
So we could wait, it's up to you.
Doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
If you don't foresee any more changes, it's fine to go before the board unless you want to review it again. So then I would just
Does anybody else wanna
recommend,
do it? You wanna see the changes?
Yeah, let's wait.
perfect, so table it,
Okay.
and we will get that for the next meeting.
Very good. Kevin, project update.
Yes. We are charging forward with the last two projects in yellow, currently out for permits on LCR 1001 with the town of Lewisboro, which will move us into construction for this fall. Again, with the projects that are in yellow, we expect construction to occur in the fall and a little bit of a carryover for any plantings likely will have to occur in the spring. This summer and fall is still not done with the intense weather. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that because a couple of these projects are they're large child stabilizations. We sure don't want to open up a wound in mid-construction and then have Hurricane Bertha come through or whatever it's gonna be, right? So that's kind of slowing us down on closeout for Kent MB 1000 as well, but I've met with the engineer there and construction contractor, and so things will be moving forward. We're scheduled for everything, kind of circling October start date for most things, because that should get us through majority of the intense weather for sure. But we're in good shape to wrap these projects up and bank credits close out the years 1 through 10. I have not begun meeting with the individual towns yet, but I expect to do so through September. I am starting to get a big group of projects that are coming in, and of course, they're all in the FAD, where we'd rather not be spending the new $10 million, which is made available to us.
They'll come back on. That's the way they have it set up that
Oh, okay.
And so I'll gauge where those could fall into the timeline. Again, priority, I think, has to be towards spending the $10 million in Westchester and non-FAD. But I think we're gonna find there's gonna be a couple of FAD projects that kind of creep their way in there, just because it's folks that need something done right away, need some help that we can help with. So other than that, if there's any specific questions, the projects haven't answered them, but still full speed ahead.
Kevin, on the Lewisboro projects, when can we expect submissions to the planning board?
They have.
What happened already?
Yes, yeah. So I already met with Kirsten. The last one that has to come in for Lewisboro is LCR 804, the Lake Walkabout project.
Right.
So I have the engineers just going to make an adjustment on it, then I expect to be on not the September planning board for projects that were part of the WQIP funds that were eligible for funding through them, which has been a great help to the Westchester municipalities. So I certainly want to thank Westchester County for working with us in lining that up. I will be out when I visit a town to sit with the town supervisor or whoever it is. Over the next group of projects, I will be going specifically through the town's O&M sites. So my hope is to kind of tag team those meetings to be what can we do in the future and how do you need help for things from the past. As I said in our last meeting in the board of directors. Completely acknowledge that this has been a brutal summer for these projects, but we can't let them fall to the wayside. So we gotta make sure that if anything needs to get done, you know, get out there and get it.
So you will be scheduling with a supervisor or mayor to walk the.
Well, if it's necessary to walk, yes. If I think it's just a, hey, I came by the site and I saw, there's a washout, you really should get. Come in with diagrams, but if it's something more major, then yeah, I think a walkthrough would be necessary. But my hope is that it's just, that meeting would be sitting down with perhaps the highway department and the mayor or supervisor going through this, what can we do in the future? And these are some of the issues we see right now. Can you guys try to get out there? And if that leads to me going out with the individuals to the site, then sure, there's no problem with doing that.
I have a project idea, so.
Great, yeah. So then in those cases, and maybe it is better that that meeting just takes place in the field. And, but for each individual town, it would be probably a little bit different.
Other business, anybody have any other business they wish to bring up? Okay, I do have one item that, to let everybody know, Ellen and I met about a week ago with two potential candidates for the patrol, interviewed them. I don't know if at this time we want to go into executive session, we can talk about it further. Our thoughts, feelings on two candidates, or want to put that on?
I think so.
It would depend on whether or not you're interviewing anyone else, because if you'd rather just do it like once. But if you're not gonna interview anyone else, so
I don't believe there's any other candidates to be interviewed.
if you wanna move its executive session for highway on that one.
The only concern I have right now, we have guests here. We can come out of this meeting, go into.
You never know.
Yeah, that's true. You never know.
But we're also having a lot of technical difficulties here.
Yeah.
Knows me, it works as well as it does.
Mistake. Bringing it up because like reopening and closing for like minutes and like my public meetings and it can get murky.
Mhm.
Like, so I don't recommend doing that and I don't think we long recommend doing that, but
Understood.
not saying you can't, so it's up to you, like how you want to proceed.
Well, now we have an umbrella.
They could, I think, go in the hall.
Just go in the hall, you have to.
Yeah.
Literally go outside.
Well, I realize that. But I'm not sure there's not a problem with putting it off unless we need to be talking to the candidates in between.
We're not needing to talk to them, but I think you need to extend,
Yeah.
to hold out another month to extend an offer is
Yeah.
unreasonable.
Yeah, that's,
You might, that's the candidate that you want.
yeah.
So what do you want to do?
Let's do it now.
Do that.
All right.
But can't you finish this meeting and then,
We are done.
You're done.
you already said you have special guests, so they.
Right, so, but what I said was we've got
Oh,
to,
that's coalition, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So let's.
Okay.
so,
So-
are we gonna be allowed to do it?
So, yeah, so I would move for an executive session after the hiring or firing, and then
I'm back.
come out, close the meeting, open it for.
You wanna put that upstairs?
Got a closet.
I don't.
We can go upstairs. We have the conference table upstairs.
Why don't you go upstairs where we can hear you, Rich? Why don't you go upstairs where we can hear you? It's very hard to hear.
But then.
This is a bad connection, guys.
You keep cutting out.
I can always get
Yeah.
So go upstairs, I can always call. Okay.
For maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah, unless you guys are gonna have.
Just go in executive session, it'd be 10 minutes, guys. So you guys can go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to show them where or?
I'll take it.
Well, you can take it off, right? So back to that again.
Okay, I'll bring you guys up.
All right.
Yeah, this is.
All right,
It's just really awful.
motion to go into executive session,
Oh, second.
all in favor?
For the hiring and firing, but don't you need, I'll just use the treasurer, okay, never mind. Okay, she's.
Yeah, I don't know where she went.
She's right there. That's why.
I gotta turn around.
We're not
We
on
wanna
YouTube.
call
It's
any,
recording.
sort of past employers. And the,
Sounds like you were gonna make a motion on Vanessa.
Okay.
Alright, I'd like to make a motion to come out of executive session.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to offer, make an offer to Vanessa
Pressman,
for the amount of $95,000. So,
I'll second.
all in favor? Vote.
I know, Rob.
You gotta miss the point.
I wanted to be, but we.
You need to adjourn,
we
the
need
meeting
to
because now, you need to adjourn because now you don't have a quorum. Right. You don't need it for the coalition, but you need it for the state. So you should adjourn before she heads out.
She leaves, the meeting's over.
Yeah.
Is that Betty?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.